Booch, look out! Fireworks are flying, spirits are riding high, and OJ is flowing from Tropicana Field for this upcoming Royal Rumble. From then on, only 68 days until the showcase of the Immortals, WrestleMania 37. But let's not jump too far ahead. First and
Yes.
foremost, let us welcome the one, the only, the wrestling encyclopedia, Vincent Kennedy Bucci.
Yes. Le Champion is here. I am in the house once again, belt and all, ready for these Royal Rumble predictions to once again prove my point as the best in the world.
Oh, I'm so nauseous right now. It's that weird feeling where you're hungry and nauseous at the same time. We have a few matches to talk about.
Yeah, we do, man.
Let's
Okay.
do the 30 woman Royal Rumble match. There's so much at stake here, with the winner winning an opportunity at the Women's Championship at WrestleMania 37. Booch, what are your initial thoughts on this match? Perhaps a prediction on the final four competitors and a winner prediction as well.
This is going to be a very interesting Rumble because there's so many stories going around about it. Now, they've advertised it a little bit, but haven't really done much with the Women's Royal Rumble. At least on the SmackDown side, you very seldom hear about it. Raw's mentioned it a lot more. But I feel like for this one, there's a lot of surprises. Like I've been hearing rumors that maybe we might see the return of Ronda Rousey at the Royal Rumble. People are talking about Ronda coming back. There's talk of maybe Becky Lynch coming back because she's just had, she's given birth to her daughter. I assume she's had enough time to recover from birth giving. I don't know what the time period is on that. Not an expert. I don't. So the time of recovery on that is not something I know and don't want to know. But anyway, as far as I look at the entrance, I'm going based off of who's been announced so far because there's going to be legendary appearances and stuff like that. It's a given in the Rumble. I think the final four, if I'm looking at it now, I think it's going to be Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair. I hate Charlotte, but I got to give facts. She's probably going to make it to the final four. As far as who's going to win, I've had to really think about this. And I've wanted to roll the dice, but I'm not going to really roll the dice. I'm going to say Alexa Bliss. With the way they've been pushing her, I've got a feeling some people think it's too soon, but WWE doesn't believe in too soon. So I say Alexa Bliss wins the Royal Rumble.
Booch, it's almost like you were looking at my notes. The way that they have been handling Alexa Bliss and The Fiend, this ongoing relationship as it's building and growing together, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Obviously, Vince favors her, the way he's booking her, just the way she's getting over. And it's hard to tell nowadays because, again, we've gone into this virtual atmosphere where we're not sure what the fans really think because they get to doctor the boos and the cheers and everything in between. So a part of me is interested in what the fans are really saying, apart from the social feeds and the dirt sheets, and how they would feel at an in-person event. Now, it's not going to be an in-person event at Mania coming up from Tropicana Field.
Yeah.
But I kind of get the feeling like it's now or never with Alexa Bliss. So I also feel like along the same lines that people are down for this gimmick. People are up for Alexa Bliss as she rolls at the Fiend's side. But I agree with you. I think it's definitely going to be Alexa Bliss. Nia Jax, I believe, was the first person that announced to be a competitor in this 30-woman match. And a part of me would love to see Peyton Royce in there. I'm a big fan of hers. But, it's going to be hard to tell. But I think you're on point with your four in Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Shayna Baszler. I think that's a strong four pick. I also think that Alexa Bliss is going to win this match for the 1 in 30 shot of us agreeing on the outcome of this match. But we're there, and for all the right reasons. So now that we're on a roll, Booch, we're cooking with gasoline. Let's talk about the men's Royal Rumble match. So much at stake here. We'll talk about Goldberg and McIntyre and what's going on ahead of us at Mania. But Booch, what are your thoughts on this match? Possible surprises? I, for one, think we're going to see a little bit of Lesnar, but what do you think?
Actually, I wasn't even thinking about Lesnar entering the Rumble till you just now brought it up. So that's an intriguing thing to think about. I assume we're going to see, obviously, we're going to see some legends. As far as surprises, well, the surprise, in my opinion, was already blown this past Monday on Raw because we found out that a man who's been sitting at home with a tricep injury for quite some time, the Rated R superstar Edge,
Oh, the Rated R superstar.
is now coming back and he's going to be in the Rumble. So there's a lot that can go down in this. And like I said, it's a hard call because they don't give you all the names right off the bat. And they got to leave room for the surprises to, get the spots in. So as far as the final four for this, based on what I'm looking at now as to who's confirmed for this, is what I'm basing it on. I think the final four is going to be Edge, Jey Uso, Daniel Bryan, and Bobby Lashley. I'm looking at those four because I feel like any of those four could win it. I'm rolling the dice. I know I am. I got a strong feeling based on a conversation I've had with some Boochcast teammates. I think Edge is going to win it because I feel like the promo he cut and the thing that he mentioned that's key. And as an analyst, you got to listen for these key words. He said, to get back the title, I never lost. Because remember, he surrendered the World Heavyweight Championship when he retired 10 years ago. He beat Alberto Del Rio in the Georgia Dome and then retired. It wasn't like he dropped the belt. He failed the strength test. They realized his neck was at that point done. He surrendered the belt. So he never, ever lost the belt and never got a rematch. So this opens the door for Edge to come back. It opens the door for him to possibly win the title if he's going to make regular appearances going forward, because we don't know what kind of schedule he has. If he's just going to do TV and pay-per-views, he's not doing live events because there isn't live events, but even if there was, he wouldn't do them. And who he would drop that belt to down the road to ultimately put over and give a good push to. So I say Edge wins the Rumble.
Wow. I had just seen this last Monday on Raw, Edge talk to all of us in the universe. And I love this guy, man. I mean, he still totally reeks of awesomeness. It would be awesome to see him in the final four. I'm with you on that pick. I might differentiate myself a little bit here. I think Brock Lesnar is going to be in the final four. So I think we're going to see the Rated R superstar going against the F5er. I also think that I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the A-lister, The Miz, at the 3 spot there. And here's my wild card. Mustafa Ali to be the first of those 4 to be eliminated. But I believe he's going to be in the final 4 because I think Mustafa Ali is going to get a really nice push in the upcoming year of WWE, which begins the Monday after Mania.
Yeah. If he doesn't win the Rumble, he's definitely getting a push this year because they're really pushing him as leader of Retribution. He's referencing the fact that Kofi Kingston stole his moment, which there is some truth to that, which means when Kofi inevitably comes back and they start feuding, that's going to be a rivalry. I think that's going to be a strong rivalry, Kofi and Mustafa Ali.
And Booch, my winner of the 37th Royal Rumble match is none other than Brock Lesnar.
Ooh.
He is my pick to win the Royal Rumble match. So we have our first point of disagreement here. Let's keep it moving.
Okay.
We have a couple more matches to talk about here. Since we're talking about Paul Heyman in some regards when I do my Brock Lesnar bit, he is at Roman Reigns' side in a last man standing match for the Universal title against Fight Owens. Stun the world, Kevin Owens. This to me is going to be a lot of what we saw a couple months back, but I want to hear your thoughts on it, Booch. Go for it.
A lot of people are expecting me to be happy about this, but I'm not. And I'm going to tell you why. Unlike most WWE fans, I was so looking forward to Roman Reigns versus Adam Pearce. I wanted that match. I felt for the Royal Rumble, that was the perfect match to have. Because here's the thing. The title matches at the Royal Rumble, with the exception of a handful, don't really matter. It's meant to just get you through to Mania most of the time. Because I liked, okay, Roman's going to beat Adam Pearce. Not going to put the belt on him. That gets Roman safely to WrestleMania and whoever he's going to face, whether it's the winner of the Rumble or somebody else down the road. I wanted to see that. And also, a lot of people don't know this. Adam Pearce is a great wrestler. In Ring of Honor, he was Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. This guy is genuinely good. In fact, he's one of the few people in Ring of Honor that knew how to work. Like, he didn't do that stupid circus shit that I hate so much. That's every other Ring of Honor match. This guy knew how to work. He was an NWA World Heavyweight Champion. This guy granted, he hasn't had a match in 6 years. He's amazing. If they actually let him if they had built this up to where we're going to see the Scrap Iron at Royal Rumble, it would have been a fight. He would have lost, but it would have been a fight. But instead, they changed it to Kevin Owens, which we've already seen. Yes, it's a last man standing match, but basically at this point, you got two things that are going to happen. Either Kevin Owens is finally going to win the Universal title, or this is the night Kevin gets buried. People are telling me I'm full of it, but here are the facts. With the exception of this past Friday on SmackDown, because at the time we're recording this, we haven't seen the other SmackDowns. I know what's going to happen on the go home, but Kevin Owens has been beaten to death every show. He got the upper hand recently, but other than that, he's been beat down, beaten up. We saw what happened at TLC. If Kevin doesn't win at this point, stick a fork in it, it's done. So he has to win now. Otherwise, there's no point. And then, because I would have said, like, who else is Roman going to face? Because at this point, if he goes to Mania, the only people you can really put him in the ring with is either The Rock or Goldberg. Pick one. Who else has he got at this point? Who else on that roster is he going to face? If you wanted to keep the belt, he could have beat Adam Pearce, fought Kevin Owens, had this last man standing match at WrestleMania, and that would have tore the house down. So they're not being smart. So I honestly don't know who's going to win this, but I'm going to roll the dice again. I'm going to say Kevin Owens because at this point, he has to. He has to. He's done if he isn't.
No disqualification in this match, right, Booch?
Yes. So expect Jey Uso to make many, many cameos.
Yeah, and we saw that at TLC, and that's why my prediction is this is going to be 2.0 of that match, which was great. And speaking of people getting buried, maybe we'll see Jey Uso get buried again underneath the rubble at ringside. That would be cool. But I think you're right. It's now or never for KO. I think he's a formidable opponent. We've seen that the last match that he participated in at TLC against Roman Reigns, he stood his ground. He came so close. He created so much doubt as he climbed that ladder, dangling gold above him, just to be defeated by the cronies of the Reigns family. And here's the thing, Booch. I agree with you. I think Kevin Owens wins this match. I think that they're setting something up for Roman Reigns, but he can't be champion right now. I think it's going to be something else. And the reason I say that is because it lends to my next prediction. As Drew McIntyre takes on Goldberg in a singles match for the WWE Championship, spoiler alert, Booch, I think Bill Goldberg is winning this match and is going to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship.
Well, that's going to be interesting because technically the Universal title is still on SmackDown. So that would mean either Roman goes to Raw or the belt goes to SmackDown. I don't know how that would work. So in order for Roman would have to find something to do. He had to come back and win the Rumble to make that happen. Really. So
haven't you seen though that there's no such thing as an official rule book? You talked about it last time. You're like, wait a minute. So I'm not worried about how they're going to make it work. I think they're setting up for Roman Reigns and Bill Goldberg at WrestleMania because I don't think The Rock is coming back. I don't see it happening one way or the other, whether Goldberg has the championship or Goldberg's this and that. It's going to be Roman Reigns versus Bill Goldberg.
Absolutely. And I look at it like this. There's a part of me that really wants Goldberg to win just because I know because I want to give a shameless plug here. We're going to be streaming the Rumble watch party on our Twitch account, twitch.tv/theboochcast. Don't worry. We'll have a special treat, like a link on our Boochcast Twitter page for you guys to see the pay-per-view if you don't have the network. So don't worry about that. But we're going to be streaming our watch party, and Desmond hates Goldberg more than life itself. Like, you take my hatred for The Miz, Matt Riddle, and Charlotte Flair, roll it up into a big ball. It doesn't come close to his hatred for Goldberg.
Wow.
So I want to see Goldberg win just because I know He's going to flip tables, and we're going to be here in the studio. So you're going to see, you think it's trashy now? Wait till Goldberg wins. There's going to be holes in the wall. It's going to be horrible. There's going to be some furniture moving. So, but as much as I want to see that happen, I truly believe that this match is meant to up Drew McIntyre's resume because he beat Brock Lesnar to become champion. He beat the Big Show after that. He's beaten, even though he lost the belt to Randy Orton, he won the belt back. He's beaten AJ Styles. He's had this incredible run, and they're pushing Drew as the guy. So to not only say, okay, I not only beat Brock Lesnar, I beat Goldberg. That makes Drew McIntyre, if he wasn't already, that legitimizes you as a badass because you beat two of the most badass wrestlers in history. Because that's it. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg are the two biggest badasses in the business. Just their strength, their look, their attractions, and they can get the job done. So for Drew McIntyre to beat Goldberg would be epic, and it would up his resume, which is why I had no objections to these two in the ring, because I did not see a scenario where Goldberg would win. Now, if he does win, I'm not going to cry. Desmond will, but I won't. So I'm going to say we're going to differ here because I'm going to say Drew McIntyre retains because I feel like, again, this is to up his resume. So I'm going with this guy, a psychopath.
And if Goldberg does win, it's going to be a very quick match.
Yes.
It'll be like Goldberg Wyatt kind of thing. Really, really quick.
Yeah, it'll be at least 4 or 5 minutes. Maybe more if they feel like they can do more. But it's not going to be a 2-minute like squash. This is him and Drew. So this match could go a while.
Here's my bold prediction. 3-minute match. Goldberg wins this match.
All right. I say 5 minutes, Drew retains.
Speaking of 5 minutes, we got about that to go in this segment. So let's get to it. The final match to talk about, a tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship as Asuka and the True Flair take on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Oh boy, there's so many potential outcomes. We know that at the end of the day, Charlotte Flair is going to shine one way or the other, whether she's a tag team champion or a singles champion. One way she's going to get hers. I think this is a great time for them to give Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler back their belts. It's not fair how it happened. It stinks. Of course, it was at their expense. And no wonder Nia Jax is making mistakes in the ring. No wonder. She can't focus because she's been getting screwed time and time again by the creative team.
Yeah. And I 100% they're winning the belts back. And the reason I say that is because we're on the road to WrestleMania. So now I said Bliss could win, but if a SmackDown, basically here's the thing. If they lose the belts, a SmackDown superstar is winning the Women's Royal Rumble. If they keep them, a Raw star is going to win because they're going to use this as an opportunity for them to get the belts back. And then Charlotte and Asuka are either going to break out somehow. One of them might turn on the other, or they might just say, okay, Charlotte's like, we're no longer tag champs. Now I can go for your belt. Out of respect for our team, I left it alone because I know what they're gonna do. Then they're gonna have the Raw Women's title match. Charlotte's gonna embarrass Asuka again, and then we're gonna see that. So I see the writing on the wall. So Nia and Shane are getting the tag belts back so they can make Charlotte a singles champion again and bore us all to tears.
I agree. I think Jax and Baszler win. So Booch, let's recap it here.
We both agree Alexa Bliss is winning the Women's Royal Rumble. For the Men's Royal Rumble, I've got the Rated R Superstar Edge. You've got the Beast Brock Lesnar. We both agree Kevin Owens is winning the Universal title. You've got Goldberg to win the WWE title. I've got Drew McIntyre to retain. And we both agree that Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are winning the women's tag belts back.
That's it. And we're going to get back at it here in early February, the best month of the year, because it's my birthday month, Booch.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll be 40 years old.
Whoa.
Right on top of the hill. Right on top. Right there. Right there. Like that Price is Right guy. He goes, yeah. And then I'm not falling off. We're doing big things here in One's World. Of course, couldn't do it without the one, the only, the wrestling encyclopedia, Vincent Kennedy Bucci. And we never, ever like to leave an episode of the male soap opera moment without saying a couple key things. One of which is, have a nice day.
The other is Bang Bang.